1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster.
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honey Bee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Honey Bee.
We are two best friends making our way through the history of kaiju movies. We started with the original King Kong from 1933, and today we are still, in 2020?
Yes.
Yes, 2020. But before we get into that, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Just going to pour a little Coke Zero here.
Oh, it sounds so crispy.
Really living on the edge here.
Oh, I can hear the bubbles. So
Okay,
fizzy.
so we had a little bit of an unscheduled break due to the holidays, but we are back. And the movie...
We're back, baby.
The movie is Underwater.
K-Stew?
Is...
Oh, K-Stew?
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
It is directed by William Eubank, with a screenplay by Brian Duffield and Adam Kozad. And it is 95 minutes in English from the United States. In color, the budget was between 50 and 65 million. Honeybee, over or under?
Definitely under.
Yes, the box office was 40.9 million. So, not a complete disaster, but not a profit.
Well, I'm surprised there was anything since it was 2020
Yeah, well, that's true.
times.
That's true.
So that's the biggest reason why I guessed under, because the things that were released in 2020 just didn't get their time.
I mean, this did come out in January, but
oh,
which is usually not a good sign though, because January is kind of the dumping ground for.
well, I
things
would
that-
love to know. Did you feel like this was a dump, a dumping ground to dump?
No, I think it did its job.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure.
There's a certain element that I quite liked, but was spoiled for me, and we're gonna spoil it for you in a minute, folks. We normally spoil the shit out of these movies.
Because there are little babies and we love them.
Let's get to the cast here.
K-Stew.
Kristen Stewart's underwear as Nora Price.
As Honeybee's bubblegum for the week. Just kidding.
I don't want to get ahead of here, but she spends the whole movie, it's all or nothing. She's either in her underwear or in the most cumbersome, non-revealing diving suit imaginable.
Okay, but how did you feel like her acting was in this film?
That's kind of hard to say because it's an action thing. So she did the running around and the grunting in the movie, she did what was required. Look, I love the John Wick movies, and Keanu certainly puts a lot of effort into making those movies. A lot of physical effort. But is it great acting? I'd have to say no. It's great martial arts.
Yeah, for sure.
But martial arts is not the same thing as acting.
Yeah. I just know, like she usually has that like dead stare, or she's like awkward, and I just felt like it was good to see her in this film not doing that sort of thing.
Let me tell you, the best thing that I've seen, and I didn't see that movie you recommended, and I need to because it's about to leave HBO. It's in the leaving soon category.
No.
Sometimes that just means it's about to show up somewhere else.
Right.
The best thing I saw her do was Charlie's Angels, because she was actually
Oh, that's
enjoying
right, you
herself.
said that.
Yeah, she said it was the most fun she'd had making a movie, and you can tell by looking at her. Anyway, the rest of our cast, and it's not a big cast. Vincent Cassel as Captain Lucian, Jessica Henwick
Sus.
as Emily Haversham, John Gallagher Jr. as Liam Smith, Mahmoud Athi as Rodrigo Nagienda, and T.J. Miller as a dirty, dirty dirtbag, Paul Abel. And Little Paul as himself. Honeybee, what are your initial thoughts and feelings about Underwater?
Okay, I felt like I loved that we just get right into it. I love that there's... How do I explain this? Something I love about this movie is there's not a lot of character shit. And I feel like this is one of the reasons why I wasn't sure if you would like the movie. Because sometimes I feel like if you don't know anything about the characters, like you specifically, like you're like, it's hard to give a shit about them. Because I like don't, like, you know. But I really thought that was like a strength in this movie of like we didn't need a bunch of like character arcs and flashbacks and bullshit. Like even at one point when we see in the little in like the guy's locker, you know, but he doesn't really explain anything. I kind of loved that about this movie. That it was just like you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You know, and I feel like it could be, I feel like people could look at that and be like, oh, that was a weakness of this movie. But I really loved it about the movie, about how we jumped right in the first few minutes. And then from that point to the very end, it was just like happening. And we didn't get a lot of character development. And the little bit of character development that we did get was like enough for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and it comes
so
out...
I really liked that.
It comes out during the course of things rather than trying to front load everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved that. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the movie visually. I liked the that we were like underwater. It was very like I don't know, that's a very scary thought to me, to be that deep in the ocean or even with my toes in the ocean. It's just kind of scary. So I really thought that the movie did a good job of taking us in that kind of underwater fear, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's as dangerous as being in outer space, pretty much, being that far below water. I think this came up briefly while we were watching it. Honeybee was in town for Christmas, and we watched this movie, but we didn't have time to... We watched it together in person, but didn't have time to record. Did we discuss who the big monster is?
We didn't discuss it, but I do know.
Okay. So yeah, here comes a big spoiler. And when I first printed out a list of movies when we first started this podcast, this was on that list, and it included a column that said who the monster was. So this was totally spoiled for me. Nobody says it in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So there's little monsters that seem to be just sort of, I don't know, parasites of the big monster. And the big monster, ladies and gentlemen,
kind of falling off of him.
Yeah, the big monster is the Great Cthulhu. So on this list, it said Cthulhu, and that was spoiled for me because it's kind of like I said, nobody says it, and in the world of this movie, they wouldn't know who it was. They wouldn't know that name, but I think, you know, when you're watching it, you're like, if you're at all familiar with Cthulhu, you'd go like, oh, wait a minute, is that who I think it is? Because the design is a little different than the way he's usually shown, but the director has confirmed that yes, that is intended to be Cthulhu, who, if you know, lies sleeping. He lies sleeping at the bottom of the ocean, waiting for the stars to be right, at which point he will awaken and, I guess, open the way for the old gods. And every now and then he kind of turns over in his sleep and gets up to go to the bathroom or something and then goes back to sleep. That's kind of what happens in the original story. Like, I think in the original story, the idea is sort of that the stars are almost right, but not quite. And he kind of gets up a little bit. He just, a ship smashes into him and he just sort of pops and disappears. And in this one, he gets a nuclear reactor blown up underneath him.
Yeah, but
So-
isn't like you can't kill him, right? Isn't that the thing with Cthulhu? Is like he's not killable. Like he's
Probably
just
not.
basically, yeah, like he's a entity with the power of all of these things, and his I don't know if I'm remembering it right. If am I remembering the right story where like if you see him, like if a human sees him, they go crazy.
Well, there's a lot of that's a kind of a general quality of a lot of Lovecraft's stories, that seeing these things, or sometimes even just having the knowledge of these things, reading about them too much will drive you mad.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what would happen? If you saw Godzilla in real life, just suddenly there, would you completely lose your mind? We won't know. We might be prepared for it, but some people might not be, and they might just completely lose it. So, but there's also, it's not just his appearance. There's just sort of this unworldly quality about such creatures, this outsideness and otherness that your mind can't fully grasp it.
Right.
So, yeah, but it does seem, unlike some of the elder gods, Cthulhu does seem to be a physical thing in the physical world. So I'm not sure if you could kill him completely, or if he would just get better or kind of reassemble himself.
Right.
Because some of these gods just sort of have a physical avatar, and if you destroyed it, they still exist somewhere beyond, and they could just create a new one. But this movie doesn't really go into any of those details.
Right, which is something that I love about it. I love that
Yeah.
about this movie. It's just like, you see this on the screen? That. Nothing else. Look here. Just that. And I just really like that.
And they don't explicitly explain what happened, but it does seem like we have kind of a Balrog situation, that where the dwarves dug too deep, that maybe the oil company just drilled too deep and woke up.
But it doesn't.
Cthulhu.
I think that the oil company is actually trying to find Cthulhu and wake him up, and the only reason why I think that is because we get the little moments of when we see in his locker and we see the pentagram, and he also has like a tattoo, and so it kind of feels like I don't know. Like I said, they don't really give you much. So
Okay.
it's kind of like up to your own mind, really, I guess. But that's what I gathered. Because even at the end, when they're like showing us all the news articles and stuff, basically they continue to keep digging. They're like, oh, we're going to we're just going to keep going. Nothing happened here. So I kind of felt like the cap was suspicious as fuck. I was like, what is with this guy from the beginning? And then when we kind of see the pentagram in his locker and then the daughter situation, I was like, oh shit, okay. Maybe he's kind of in on it and he knows what we're digging for and just doesn't realize, how powerful. I don't know.
I don't think I noticed the pentagram. I think I just was focusing on the picture of the daughter. So
yeah, it's like in his locker.
His daughter,
he like opens it, and it's like, and there's a few things.
Yeah.
There's also like a painting of Cthulhu in the sub, in like when they're in there. There's like a painting right in that scene, right before the picture of the daughter happens. There's like a painting on the wall that's Cthulhu. That's his.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so I feel like he kind of knows what's up, and could be in denial about his daughter's death, or like trying to bring her back, or I don't know.
There was his daughter died when she was 14, and Kristen Stewart knows that he has a daughter, but doesn't know that she's dead, but knows enough about her to know that she should be her own age, because it says something about how old's your daughter. Somebody says, how old's your daughter? And he says 14, and she's like, wait, shouldn't she be about
That
my
can't
age?
be right.
And he's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I didn't say. I don't know why I said that. He said that because she's eternally 14 in his mind, because that's
Right.
how old she was when she died. But so I don't know why you would tell somebody you had a daughter and not tell them that she had passed. That seems a little odd to me, but Unless you're
fellow.
just, unless you are just, it's part of your psychosis or whatever that you just don't acknowledge. But apparently you did carry around a little card from her funeral.
Right.
So I don't know. Well, let's get to the plot, which we have from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. In 2050, the Kepler 822, a research and drilling facility operated by Tian Industries at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, which is, the deepest part of the ocean. So if you're going to dig too deep, you may as well get a head start by digging there. Is struck by what is assumed to be a strong earthquake. As part of the facility is destroyed by the incident, mechanical engineer Nora Price and her colleagues, Rodrigo and Paul, make their way to the escape pod bay. However, the three discover that all the escape pods have been deployed, with Captain Lucien being the only person in the area when the three arrive, because he's all like, I'm the captain. I'm going down with the ship. It's what we do. And that's when she's like, you have a family. Any one of us would have knocked you out and put you in there. You have a family. You should have gone. Together, they reach a control base and find biologist Emily Habersham and engineer Liam Smith, who were unsuccessful in their attempt to make contact with the surface. This might be, though, it might not just be because all that stuff you said. Maybe he's staying on purpose, not just because the captain goes down with the mining. The expression is the captain goes down with his ship, not the captain stays down with his mining facility. I feel like it's a different situation.
Well, but this is the second. But this is the second one, because he talks about. Was it Shepherd? He talks about like the first drill site, which is kind of another reason why I was like, oh, it's like he knows, like he's in the Cthulhu cult,
which was also
because
it's a little weird though, because that site is abandoned, but it's not. It's intact. And apparently he didn't pack any of his shit when he left. He left everything in his locker. Anyway, let's see. Lucien suggests using pressurized suits to walk 1 mile across the ocean floor to Roebuck 641, which is another facility, hoping to resurface from there. As they descend in a freight elevator, Rodrigo's defective helmet implodes under the water pressure, killing him. And it's implied that he knew that he purposely took the defective one to... not necessarily because he wanted to die, but just because he noticed, so he didn't want someone else to take it.
The deaths, the kill count in this film, chef's kiss.
I mean, what is our cast?
The first two people who die, we never even really meet them.
6. Well, there's 6 named characters, and only 2 of them survive.
And we do get 2 deaths in the beginning of people we never knew or cared about.
Yes.
So there's like 10 people who die.
There might have been a bunch more that were nowhere near the door. His helmet implodes. The surviving crew sees a distress beacon from one of the escape pods below, and Liam and Paul go to investigate. So there's another dead body. They crawl over a dead body, and there's another one in this pod. So that's 4 at least. As they arrive at the location, they find a body in the rubble. A creature emerges from the corpse's back and attacks them. Liam kills the creature and takes it inside. Emily examines the creature and realizes that it belongs to a previously undiscovered species. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is very like Alien underwater.
Yeah. Now, and it takes a while.
It
takes a while to get to the creatures, and frankly, they could have made this movie without them. If it was just a straight disaster movie, I think it could have been just that. It didn't have to be a creature movie as well. I'm glad it is.
I kind of loved it. Yeah, same. I'm glad too.
But it would have worked as just a straight disaster movie. The 5 make their way to the sea floor, but as they are walking, the Kepler explodes above and nearly buries them in debris. Liam is hit, but Nora and Lucien save him. They manage to get through an access tunnel to an intermediate station where they can change and clean their suits. However, they find that Liam's oxygen scrubber is badly damaged from the debris.
Oh, this oxygen scrubber thing too. This is the like thing in the back with the liquid, the like shiny liquid stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of confused with this because I was thinking like if it's liquid, and maybe I just don't understand how science works, but I was thinking like it was gonna be like liquid in their lungs type thing, you know, kind of like the abyss.
I was just gonna say that's
Like,
the abyss. That's it.
yeah, like because they're under, like they're gonna. I was like, oh shit, okay, like they're gonna have to, suck up this liquid oxygen to, but nah, it never happened. It's just pretty. It's just a pretty liquid.
It's not, this is in 2050, so I think this is not an actual thing. I think this is a future tech. Rather than having oxygen tanks like a traditional diver would have, they have these oxygen scrubbers that I would assume remove the CO2. I think in a lot of these kind of situations, it's not necessarily lack of oxygen that gets you, it's an excess buildup of CO2. So there you go. On their way to the access tunnel, Paul is attacked by an unknown creature, dragged underwater, and killed. Before the team leaves the access tunnel, they find that Liam's damaged oxygen pod will cause him to suffocate from the explosion's toxic fumes. Unwilling to leave other crew member behind, Nora, Lucian, and Emily agree to help Liam walk. The four set off across the ocean floor, but a humanoid creature appears and drags Liam into a cave. Lucian manages to get Liam out, but he is pulled from the other three. Nora is dragged along with Lucian, but Lucian sacrifices himself to spare Nora from the increasing pressure differential. Nora ends up at the abandoned Shepherd Station alone and is unable to change the damaged diving suit before continuing toward... is able to change her damaged diving suit before continuing towards Roebuck. Walking along the ocean floor, she reunites with Emily and Liam and proceed to help drag the ladder. So, yeah, she finds the captain's old locker in there and discovers some background about him, that his daughter's dead. And then when she hears...
And that he's in the cult! He be doing rituals and shit. He be drawing pentagrams, sacrificing people.
Possibly. So she hears Emily ahead of her and runs to catch up with her and ends up having to tackle her. And poor Emily is just dragging Liam across the ocean floor. Fortunately,
Can we just say poor Emily, period?
She's not prepared for any of this shit.
She was not cut out for this.
But fortunately, she does not catastrophically damage his suit by dragging it along the ocean floor. And yet somehow, she manages to come through when more qualified people do not. As they enter Roebuck, they encounter a nest of humanoid creatures hanging from the ceiling and try to sneak by. But the sound of Emily's oxygen alarm wakes the creatures. Nora is partially swallowed by one of the creatures, but is able to kill it and free herself. That was a pretty cool scene.
That was real.
She shoots it from the inside and then climbs out. The three manage to reach the escape pod bay, but Nora discovers that only two of the pods are functional. Nora and Emily manage to get the ailing Liam into a pod, and Nora persuades Emily to take the last one. So there's a whole conflict here with one of the pods is not functioning properly. And Nora's trying to hide it from Emily. When Emily discovers it, she tries to get Nora to go, but she's like, no. And here's where we find out a little bit. This was hinted at earlier. Nora has some dead husband, lover, fiance, boyfriend, somebody.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't you think I would give anything to have one more day? You need to go because you love Liam and you two are still alive. I have nothing to live for. I'd give anything. He needs you. You need him. Get in the goddamn thing and go. Yeah, I'd give anything to have one more day with him. So you need to take advantage of this and go have your one more day.
Which I just love this because it's like it was like, oh shit, like we get a little bit of character shit, but it isn't overdone. It isn't. It's just like, damn, and it makes the scene like of her sitting there. I don't know, like being a martyr, you know.
Yeah. Was she looking at a picture earlier? There was something. It didn't come out of nowhere completely. There was something that indicated she was missing someone earlier in the film, but I don't remember. I guess she must have been looking at a picture. But she didn't, you know, when she first it's when she's first waking up and brushing her teeth and shit. As this happens, a gigantic creature, Cthulhu, ladies and gentlemen, emerges and attacks the Roebuck, while the smaller creatures follow the two escape pods. Nora, accepting her impending death, initiates an overload of Roebuck's nuclear core. This is Chekhov's nuclear core, because they set up earlier that we're sitting on top of a bunch of energy with nowhere to go, resulting in a massive explosion that kills the creatures and allows the escape pods to reach the surface. During the credits, news headlines say that there were only 2 survivors, and Tyon Industries refuses to be involved with investigations into the events due to expanding its drilling efforts. Yeah, they are going to continue drilling. And we also see, so throughout, though, Little Paul is a stuffed rabbit that Paul carries around with him. And does he have it when they find it? Yes, he says, take Little Paul.
Yes,
as
he
he's
does.
climbing out of the hole.
He also, I don't know if you noticed this, but he does also have a Cthulhu tattoo.
I did not notice that. At one point, when he's going down to check out that other pod, he bequeaths it to Emily. And if anything happens to it, he will haunt her. So during this closing credits, we see that it's like part of the evidence that's being examined in the investigation. There's like a little pictures of it next to a ruler so we can see how big it is and stuff like that. So I feel like Little Paul was as important a character as anybody else in this movie.
Yeah.
Perhaps the best character.
I felt like there was some sort of symbolism there, but I didn't really get it. Or maybe I was just thinking about it too hard.
I think it was just a little quirky character thing.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. In an alternate ending, after overloading the core, Nora makes her way to the damaged escape pod and rewires it, escaping just before the Roebuck explodes. This ending was not featured in the theatrical release of the film. I suppose if you I own a digital copy of this. I don't think it's included. Maybe if you bought a DVD or Blu-ray, it would be on there. So I'll have to check. Sometimes there are digital special features, but not always.
Yeah.
I like this ending better, though. It's more in keeping with the Cthulhu-ness of it all.
Right. Yeah, I think the ending, you know me, I love a sad ending. I love when nothing goes our way.
We need to go back and watch Call of Cthulhu. There is a very unusual adaptation of it from like 2005, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, 2005, The Call of Cthulhu. It was made by the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society. They do a lot of, I think they've done a few films, but they've also done like a lot of audio dramas and stuff. And they decided to make the movie as if it had been made when the story was first written. So do it, so it's a black and white silent film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's a very low budget thing, but it's really cool and it's pretty accurate adaptation. And I believe it is now currently available on Tubi and stuff like that. So we should go back and watch that.
Well, I did look up H.P. Lovecraft because I knew that I knew the name, but I didn't know if I knew any other works besides Cthulhu, which I looked and I really didn't. This is kind of the only one that I knew. But I did read a little bit on him, and I found this quote that I really love. And there was also a little bit about how he was an atheist. And, you know, this is in like the 1920s. But I found this quote that it's from the editor, let's see, in note to the editor of Weird Tales on the Call of Cthulhu, and I thought it was really interesting, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Now all my tales are based on the fundamental premise that common human laws and interests and emotions have no validity or significance in the vast cosmos at large. To me, there is nothing but puerility in a tale in which the human form and the local human passions and conditions and standards are depicted as native to other worlds or other universes. To achieve the essence of real externality, whether of time or space or dimension, one must forget that such things as organic life, good and evil, love and hate, and all such local attributes of a negligible and temporary race called mankind have any existence at all. Only the human scenes and characters must have human qualities. These must be handled with unsparing realism, not catch-penny romanticism. But when we cross the line to the boundless and hideous unknown, the shadow-haunted outside, we must remember to leave our humanity and our terrestrialism at the threshold. Woo-wee! I thought that was so good.
Now, did your readings mention that he was also a horrible racist?
Yeah, well, it did go into how he did support Hitler in the beginning because he wanted to, like, keep German culture rich and stuff, but then he found out what Hitler was actually doing to Jewish people, and he stopped, supporting him and was, like, super against that. But then as far as race goes, he kind of fell off after that point. Like, it literally says, like, and then nothing else was said about it or some shit, you know?
Oh, no, I believe he was married to a Jewish woman, but he was terribly racist. He was also terribly isolated and I think afraid of the world in general. It kind of seemed like as he got older, he might have mellowed, and if he had ever actually got out of the fucking house and met people, he might have overcome that, but he died rather young before that could happen. So, yes, it's all sort of, a lot of it's kind of underneath its work. It's his work. It's not. It's there, but it's not overt. But it's certainly, he corresponded a lot. Both he had a lot of friends that he wrote letters back and forth with, and he sort of copyleft his work. He gave people permission to use his ideas and his entities and things like the Necronomicon, his fictional books. He gave them permission to use them in his works and in their works. And he corresponded with a lot of different authors, including Robert E. Howard, the creator of Conan, who was also terribly, terribly racist.
Shit.
Fortunately, all of my favorite problematic authors have been dead for 90 years or more. The one that is still alive, I don't buy her stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You guys know who I'm talking about. Let's not say her name.
Oh, we all know.
So it's unfortunate, but yeah, cultivate dead writers, ladies and gentlemen. So you don't have to worry about how awful they turn out to be. So yeah, but the thing is, his ideas were so influential and innovative that they just permeate certain types of fiction. You just can't get away from it. And there are a lot of newer writers who are people of color or queer people or whatever who have taken those ideas and made them their own and done their own thing with them, but then feel a certain amount of discomfort if they win a certain award that is shaped like his head. So, what are you going to do?
Oh my gosh. That is shaped like his head.
It is. Yes, I forget what the award is, but it's a little bust of H.P. Lovecraft. And
that is so funny.
There was some, I believe, black author who won it and was kind of like, oh, a bust of
actually,
guy.
I don't really want this head in my house.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna do? There you go, folks. So, I mean, I enjoy. And of course, Lovecraft also permeates the realm of role-playing games due to the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game.
Sure.
But the influence reaches far beyond just that game. You'll find Cthulhu elements in all sorts of role-playing games. Dungeons and Dragons, the original Deities and Demigods book, had the Cthulhu mythos in it. there are other explicitly Cthulhu games, and then he just sort of shows up. Any game you're playing, Cthulhu shit could show up in it. So, there you go, folks. There's been a lot of other movies adapted from his works, but they tend to be kind of bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of them are, yeah. Guillermo del Toro has been trying to make At the Mountains of Madness for decades now, and it just can't seem to get off the ground. It's been stuck in development hell forever. So maybe someday we'll get to see that movie. Well, Honeybee, what are you going to rate Underwater?
Well, I really like the dirtbag character. I thought he was some good comedic relief. I really loved Emily. I liked how like scared she was, but I'm glad that she made it out. I love that part in the movie where he's like, "All right, Emily," like they're like, "Okay, we got to do this." He's like, "All right, are you ready?" And she's like, "What?" Like he makes her think that she has to go out there and save everybody.
Oh yeah,
I love that. I thought it was good. It was better than I was expecting it to be, for sure. I enjoyed it, absolutely. Was it incredible, amazing? Nah. But I think it was good. It was good enough. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I liked it.
I'm tempted to give it 3, but maybe give it an extra star just for Cthulhu.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I also feel like I want to give it a 3, but I feel like it's just like a smidge better than a 3. Because, yeah, it looks great. The monsters, great. Even the humanoid monsters, still cool. Like, still loved it. The kind of thriller vibe, just the anticipation, like how much action, the feeling of claustrophobia under the ocean and this fucking, just so creepy. So for all of that, I'm going to say, yeah, it's probably 4 stars. I do like it. I might watch it again. But I wasn't like in love with it. So
I might fast forward to some of those paintings and pentagrams and stuff that I missed.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah, I was like, it was the captain. It was the captain the whole time. He knew everything. He fucking killed all of us. That's how I felt. I was like, This guy is way too fucking suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for today. I think next week we'll start a new season.
Oh.
Well, our previous seasons were divided by Godzilla eras.
Yeah.
And we're still kind of in the current era, but next week's movie is Godzilla vs. Kong, and I feel like that's when the MonsterVerse properly starts, when the two of them
and that's
finally
kind
meet up.
So
it's I mean, it's the 4th movie in the series, but it's the first time the two of them are meeting up in that series. And it kind of starts a new segment.
And we don't need any fucking rules, man. We make our own rules. If we say it's a new season, it's a new season.
That's right. Yeah, so there we go. So this will wrap up season 5 of Monster Movie Fun Time Go. Folks, if you haven't checked it out yet, do check out our side project, our other podcast, Mars Needs Movies, in which we examine movies of alien invasions, incursions, infiltrations, and visitations. My brother Delano co-hosts a lot of those, but we're going to have Honeybees do some more of them. And we're also alternating with new episodes and replays of our 31 Days of Horror. So you can find that wherever you found this podcast. Until next time, I have been Precious D.
And I have been Honey B.
Remember to keep calm and take shelter in basements.
And please, don't misuse science.
We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.